We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Second and 12 at the 23-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Watch the twins. Watch the twins. Flare.
Running with Kamara. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun. Love. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This will be fielded at the 17. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
And we got to get to the 30. Let's keep moving. Protein spill. 59 mark. Check. 59. 26. Watch the pass.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people, always end up winning games for you.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Second and 9 now. And this is Cook with a grab. Oh, and now he bowls him over. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season opener opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I didn't have a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
To throw on 2nd down. Love. That'll be complete to Cook. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 31-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On 1st and 10, Love. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Off-play action. Love. Flush to his right. And, it'll be intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone. I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious. So you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Rodgers looking deep for Adams. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on the
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Come on.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Kenny Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. A give to Kamara running right. There he goes inside the 30 and down to the 29-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Working from the gun. Rodgers. Got a man. It's Brown. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the Saints' 14-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
50. 65. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress. That's one of the scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
Knock it through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On second down, Kamara trying to run inside, but nothing there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
31's the mic. Yeah, you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Head up. Ready, go.
To throw on 3rd down. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. Couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He gets this to Davante Adams. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
1st and 10 at the 30.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 2. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Rodgers again now. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is now 10-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, good move. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go!
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
26.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's going deep for Brown. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
5. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
On 3rd down, Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
319. Check 56. Watch the curl. Watch the curls. 56. Mike, 56. Right there. Right there. 56.
They're not ready for this.
Mike.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
Bravo.
From just shy of midfield, Rodgers. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him. That is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, and call it an even 50 yards. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. From the gun, Love. And Josh Hill has it. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big...
This is intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback, because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
On 1st down, it's Coleman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. The 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. 3rd down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Love. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he gets this one inside the 50, yard or 2 shy of the 10. Nice gain at 21 yards. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now we'll give right side Coleman. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter.
Check 56. Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Jim. Hey, check 26.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rodgers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Ready, ready. 90. Wolf. Hey, pick your game up.
Operating from the gun. Love. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Let's get it.
The Saints on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Check, check.
From From the gun, Love. Flushed out right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They begin the drive with Coleman. He's going to have the first down past the 20. He's at the 50. 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. 91 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Bailey got the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter knows.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Zach Pascal. His fourth touchdown on the year as his guys are back within a single score. So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, the crowd getting into it. as we come up on a big third down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Packers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Rodgers now. From the gun, he'll throw. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded at the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. He'll look to throw. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And it's 3rd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Move. We got 4. We got 4.
On 4th down, Love. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. They are on to the fourth quarter now, by the way, in Santa Clara. And it was the Niners who were able to come away with a victory there. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They will run again with Coleman. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Throwing is Rodgers. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run on first down. Coleman. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Packers, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the season is really nosediving now as they fall to 2-12. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.